Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about why I will never move back to the USA ever again. I know, those might be some strong words, but well, the reality is that I've been living out here in Mexico for over 7 years now, and I just love it so much. I can't even fathom, I can't even think of moving back to the USA after living out here for so long and enjoying so many amazing benefits of, life out here. And in today's episode, we're gonna just get on the bike. As you guys already know, we like to take our little rides around the neighborhood here and all that good stuff. And we're gonna be riding around Mérida, Yucatan. And as we ride around, well, you already see I'm mic'd up and I'm ready to rock and roll. So hope you guys are as well. And if so, well, let's buckle up and let's get on the bike and let's talk about why I love living in Mexico so much that I'm not even considering, I don't even miss the USA at all. Guys, I just want to give you a quick reminder that now you can listen to me in any language that you want. All right, let's get rolling. So some of these reasons that we're going to be discussing today, you've heard me talk about before in various videos. Some of them not so much. Either way, whatever, welcome everybody out there. Welcome everyone in the audience, all the new members, new followers, new subscribers, and all the old subscribers and everyone else in between. Shout out to everyone. So the number one thing that I love the most about living out here in Mexico, without a doubt, is the freedom. Just simply put, the freedom. I don't even know how else to describe it, except you got to be living out here, to really experience what I mean by the freedom. Now, for a lot of people out there in the audience, I know that you guys think that you're living in the most free country in the world. And if you really think that, if you're out there in the United States of America and you think that you're more free than I am out here in Mexico, or more free than other people in other parts of the world, well, hey, what is it? God bless you, as they like to say. But the reality is that one of the reasons that I love living out here so much is the freedom. In fact, to the point where in the USA, for the longest time, for the absolute longest time, I had already felt, I had no freedom there. I had lost my freedom. I never thought I was ever going to be able to get that freedom ever again. It was just terrible. The fact that you're always getting harassed by the police for anything. I'll give you an example. I saw a video the other day of some guy that was just in the park in the USA. Okay, some guy sitting in the park in the USA, all alone on a bench, just enjoying the lake. And basically someone called the cops on him because he looked suspicious because he was sitting there enjoying the lake. And long story short, the guy ended up getting arrested for doing nothing, for doing absolutely nothing. And out here it's the complete opposite. You could, if you're tired and you just want to lay down, you can lay down. It's not like living in the USA where every little itty bitty thing is a crime. And again, I've mentioned it and I talked about it multiple times here on this channel about the freedom, where sometimes the freedom can be too much for some people. And I get it, because what people really want is comfort, not freedom. But that's another situation, which we'll talk about. We've talked about many times, but the reality is that it's, all right, let me see if I can get around this guy real quick. Hold on. It's the freedom. There's a freedom that comes from living out here in Mexico that is, something you just can't find in the USA anymore, unfortunately, which is really sad, really terrible, really sucky. And again, it's not just authority, but again, just the freedom to, play your music at a certain level. The freedom to enjoy your life without having any, repercussions of like some Karen that's upset with the way that you're living your life, not allowing you to live your life. And I'm sure most of you guys already know. All right, let's go down this way. I got a bicycle, so I can do this. No problemo. All right. But anyways, like the freedom to do things like this. And if there's any consequences, I'll pay them. like going the wrong way on the street here. I should not be doing this, but it's like right now, like I'm not gonna have a police officer harass me. I'm not gonna have a police officer, start to try to arrest me or take my bike away or whatever, just because I committed a crime. Simply put, if I get in an accident, I'm gonna be paying full consequences for that action. Simple as that. Because if that guy hits me, well, it's my fault. It's not his fault. It's as simple as that. And I could go on and on. So, out here, it might be a little bit crazier, and some people out there might not be used to the insanity of what life out here might be. But for some people, like me, coming from Florida, coming from Miami, coming from places where, very similar, in structure to how life is out here. There's a lot of traffic out back here. Right? I'm gonna wait for these people to, I had no idea there was so much traffic down these streets here. Anyways, and yeah, you know what I mean? Like, there's just so many freedoms that come from living out here that I could just make a whole episode on its own, and I have in the past. But that's just one of the reasons, the freedom. The reason number two is the culture, the lifestyle, the way that people live out here. Again, I've talked about this multiple times. In fact, I talked about this in a recent video where I was talking about, like how Mérida, Yucatan, which is where I live and where we're filming right now, is very similar to Miami, or how Miami used to be, in the sense of like a lot of Cuban influence, a lot of Latino influence, the way that everybody lives out here. I know there's a lot of parts of the USA, like in New York and other places where there's a lot of Latinos and there's a, certain vibe and lifestyle that goes with that. Well, guess what? Out here, it's the same thing. So for a lot of you guys that have lived with Latinos before, have lived in the barrio, have lived with, grew up with Hispanics, you might be Hispanic yourself, Hispanic, Latino, whatever you want to be called. At the end of the day, you're going to feel more at home out here than you would in the USA. So, all right, I'm trying to figure out what way to go. I'm guessing maybe this way? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it was, I don't know if it was this road or not. Let's see what the GPS says. So, the freedom. Sorry, not the freedom, the culture, the lifestyle that comes from living out here. A lot of people are always asking me things like, oh, hey, Jose, what are you going to do for your retirement? What are you going to do since, you don't have a traditional job and you don't do your traditional, things like everybody else does. And you're out there, literally on a Tuesday afternoon, just riding your bicycle, talking to literally yourself. I know I'm talking to you guys, but, right now, people are looking at me from the outsider. Why is that guy just talking to himself riding a bicycle? Poor guy. He just must be crazy. Oh, well. Hey, at least he's, capable to ride a bike on his own. Bruh. Anyways, but yeah, long story short, the lifestyle of living out here, is just more laid back and more relaxed. And people, like for example, I was at a, birthday party, a Mexican birthday party not too long ago. There was like 50 people there, give or take, a really big party, a lot of fun. I did not know most of the people there. It was just a party. We were just having fun, celebrating, enjoying life. And one thing I noticed immediately was the fact that, people were not asking me, to break the ice. They were not asking me things like, hey, what do you do for a living? No, it was just more like, hey, my name's Jose. Hey, my name's Pepe. Oh, great, wonderful, blah, blah, blah. Kind of like exchange pleasantries. And then that's it. Just basically live life, enjoy life. You know what I mean? Like, let's have some drinks. Hey, who do you know? Oh, I'm here with Diana. Oh, great. I'm here with Christian. Oh, cool. Wow, awesome. I don't know anybody. Oh, ha ha ha. Hey, let's take a shot. All right, let's take a shot. Whatever. It doesn't. It's just like it's no one cares. No one cares how little money you make, how much money you make. It's more about, are you a good person? Are you fun to hang around with? Are you enjoyable? Just things like that. Como dicen aquí, how they say here, eres buena onda or no? Are you cool or not? You know what I mean? Are you here to hang or what? And, people don't like party poopers. People don't like negative Nancys. yeah, sorry. People don't like negative Nancy's. Yeah, sorry, I think I had I touched the microphone there. But anyways, you know, people out here, they just really, they enjoy their life. They just want to live life. And it's just something about that culture. People are not constantly complaining about things. People are not constantly living in the woe is me, I'm a victim kind of mentality. It's just very, very different. And, you know, with that said, you know, speaking of that party I was at, you know, another thing that I noticed is the fact, oh, where are we? Oh, I need to know where we were. Okay, look at this. Okay, so this is Parque Alemán. Oh, all right, we're gonna go around the outside of it first and then we'll go on the inside. So we're going around Parque Alemán, very popular place to hang out here. But yeah, as I was saying, so yeah, one of the cool things, all right, hold on, let me kind of fix the GPS there. All right. Yeah, so one of the cool things as well, you know, about living out here, you know, when it comes to, you know, when, like again, we're socializing with other Mexicans, socializing with other people out there. It's more similar than different, if that makes any sense. So again, for me, you know, coming from, let's say, Miami, and that would be in a similar, let's say, party or kind of situation, right? Well, it's not going to be that different, you know, outside of the fact that everyone at the party here is speaking Spanish. Let's say Miami people might be just speaking Spanglish, but out here people are speaking Spanish for the most part. But everybody is a millennial for the most part because, you know, we're all around the same age. Not only a millennial, but then on top of that, all right, guy, let's go. You see the freedom. That guy's just being a jerk there. Anyways, I should have just hit him with the bike, right? Just crashed right into him. It might say, I think I'm going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way. All right, you know, let's just go in the park right now. But yeah, how things are pretty similar, you know, and when it comes to like the culture and other cool things like that, because the reality is that it's not too different. You know, one of the, you know, pleasant surprises I got, for example, with when I was like dating Christian, dating, you know, everyone, but just talking to people out here and, you know, obviously dating my wife and all that stuff. But one thing that I really realized very quickly is that the Mexicans out here, you know, they basically, they grew up just like we grew up. So for example, Christian grew up watching The Simpsons, Malcolm in the Middle, King of the Hill. Well, maybe not King of the Hill, but like, okay, see, look, most parks out here have like recreational facilities so you can work out. So no need for a gym. Oh, look, some of those rent the bikes. Okay, so let's keep going through the park here. But yeah, a lot of similarities. You know, she loved anime. In fact, the people out here loved anime a lot more. They loved Japanese culture, Korean culture, you know, the magazines. Like I said, so she used to, okay, listening to music, you know, she listened to all the same stuff, you know, that girls her age listen to, you know, all the pop music, all the, what's it call it? Like, for example, I'll give you a better example. Like her cousin and her husband, so they love like rock and they love metal. Her husband is in a metal band. By the way, quick, you know, little side note here. I've been meaning to do videos like that where I want to like do interviews with regular common folk out here and show you guys a little bit more about that. So let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing something like that. For example, you know, seeing an interview with Roberto, you know, which is whatchamacallit, like the family member that's in the metal band, you know, Christian's cousin's husband. Long story short, yeah, he's in a metal band and, you know, they're very popular and they do all the same exact things that a band would do in the USA, all right? And so, yeah, let me know because I would love to show you that so you guys can see how similar we are. And in fact, maybe realize that, oh, wait a minute, you know, this is even better out here than it is back home for many, many reasons. But yeah, long story short, you know, they listen to the same music, you know, have a lot of similarities, you know, when it comes to taste in pop culture. Again, you got to remember the USA and Mexico are right next to each other. And a lot of the pop culture, a lot of the culture that the USA has been exported around the world. And, this is no different. If you're right next door, obviously they're going to export a lot of it over here. But not just that, one of the cool things about living in Mexico is that it's not as isolated, for example, as, like the USA, because in the USA, it is a little bit isolationist because they just, it's more about the culture in the USA, American culture in the USA, yada, 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 things like that, but not so much like sharing cultures from around the world. And so that's another thing that's, fairly interesting, out here, is the fact that out here more people are more cultured because, well, they listen to things from all over the world. They watch things from all over the world, like movies and films and so many things like that. So, all right, give me 1 second because I'm trying to figure out how to start making my way home in a sense. I think maybe through here. And so, there's like a lot of like really cool things like that once you're living out here, you quickly realize, oh wow, you know what I mean? It's all right, let's go this way. Yeah, because we got the bike here running out of battery. I don't want to be running out of battery too far from home here. I'm pretty close to home, but still. This thing is hard to pedal, if you know what I'm saying. At least for me, this is why I want to get the regular bike, the regular electric bike that would allow me to pedal and not have to worry about, how far I'm going to get away from the house and all that stuff. So, again, not only is there a lot of similarities when it comes to the culture. All right, we got some traffic here, as you guys can see, a very kind of semi-busy avenue, I think. I don't know, oh, there's like a speed bump. You see, like that's how they slow down, is because they got speed bumps. You can see there, you see? That guy's waving me by. I don't know if I captured it, but that's the thing out here. So back to the freedom and the cops and the police and the authority thing. That's why you don't see cops everywhere, police everywhere that are constantly harassing people for, again, driving on the wrong side of the road or going too fast or just committing any kind of petty crime. Because again, there's like a speed bump, and if you take that speed bump at too high a rate of speed, you're going to be paying the price more than anybody else. And so, there's so many things out here that allow the people to police themselves. Society polices themselves. And so, anyways, all right, sorry, I know I'm all over the place, but, just kind of skipping around because I have like a list of things I'm going to be talking about here. I am talking about here, but I'm going to be skipping around because, look, one of the things that I was going to leave for last, but I'm just going to talk about right now, that I love about living out here so much is the fact that when I'm living out here, I feel like I'm living in the USA, but in the 80s and 90s. And I know what you guys, a lot of you guys out there totally understand what I'm saying, because again, the more you see me explore the city, there are many parts of the city that look exactly like the USA or better. But the point is that, again, the things that I say that resemble, this area, more like in the 80s and 90s and things like that, is simply the fact that, out here, it's not as authoritarian as it used to be. So again, just going back to like the whole freedom thing, back in the USA, 45 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, you used to be a lot more free to just live your life. And so out here, you're seeing that. And so what do I mean? Let's not talk about authority for a minute, because I know I'm always harping on that. And all the freedoms that come from that, or lack of freedoms from that. Look, that guy's in a wheelchair. So again, that's how that guy supports himself, all right? There's no real, government help for that guy. There is some government help, but not as much as in the USA. And out here, someone like that can construct a vehicle like that and basically go to work and just, he taxis people around the city. Anyways, so going back to like how it is here and how it's similar to how it used to be in the USA back in the day, is the fact that, okay, I know where we're at. All right, I'm kind of getting an idea of where I'm at here. All right, let's go through here for now. But anyways, yeah, this thing's already starting running low on battery. So, another thing is the fact that, again, going back to like the living out here like the 80s and the 90s, is that, okay, just the way that you can parent your child. The things, when it comes to pertaining, about the gender roles. And, again, might be for some people, it might not be for others, it is what it is. But out here, the gender roles are pretty much defined. Again, obviously, any woman can do whatever, any man can do whatever. Again, freedom, it's so free that they don't need to have another cultural revolution like they're having in the USA or Canada or other countries, even though you'll see it out here, but it's just not as pronounced because, well, there's not really much to fight about when it comes to those rights because they've always had them. It's just always, it is what it is. But anyways, but yeah, just going back to like how it was out here, how it is out here, and how life was back home in the 80s and 90s, all that freedom that came from life. You didn't need like 100 licenses just to conduct business. You didn't need to ask, all these permissions. There weren't so many laws, to constantly get you in trouble. There weren't so many, people that were just constantly, acting negatively and bad, like a Karen, as people, as the kids like to say these days, there's not that many Karens rolling around the neighborhood, if any at all. There's very few Karens out here because people still know how to behave in society out here. And, so many little things like that like still resemble life back home. Now, again, the cool thing is about life out here is that, well, even though culture, see, look at that guy just parked here. Look at this guy. Just parked however there. Blocking traffic, not giving a hola. And so, like I said, sometimes the freedom is good, sometimes it's not so good. But still, what was I saying about so like how life is out here is that even though it's very similar to like the USA, in the 80s and 90s, you got all the technological advancements of living in the future, because we're living in the future in a sense, right? We're living in 2025 for crying out loud. So I think we can go. Yeah, let's go. We're on a bicycle. Yeah, the thing's already starting to go real slow. All right, so running out of batteries here. But anywho's, it's life out here is very similar to how life was back in the day. Like for safety, how, you can literally put like 100 people on a motorcycle. You see people all the time. They'll have like a pickup truck and they'll have like 16 guys on the back of the pickup truck. In fact, I saw a pickup truck the other day, a flatbed truck, and it had like 15 dogs on it. 15 dogs. It was incredible. I wish I had the video to show you guys, but I saw it online. But yes, it was something definitely that happens out here in Mexico. All right, let me see if I can go through here, back here. Oh, I found my horn on the truck. I found the horn on the bicycle. Cool, right? Bruh. Anyways, all right. So, all right, let's make our way through here. But yeah, living out here is like living in the 80s and 90s in so many ways. The fact that, how you can raise your children, how you can live your life. The authority out here is not as imponent, is not as, actually it's very impotent, actually, more than anything else. The police and the authority out here are more impotent than anything else, as opposed to extremely, well, you know how it is in the USA. But there's just so many things when it comes to that. So another thing about living out here is that there's not that political turmoil that you're finding in the USA day in and day out all the time now. I see it all the time. I hear it all the time. So many people are constantly just at each other's throats in the USA. And this has been going on for a long time. It's obviously a lot worse these days than it has been in a long time. But, you're just not seeing that here. There are tons of people that disagree on things. Many Mexicans disagree on many things all the time, constantly. Seriously. But the one constant thing about life out here is that people, they learn how to live with each other. They learn how to agree to disagree. They learn how to comport themselves in a society and live together, even though they might be different. You got to remember that we're living in a country that is extremely liberal, okay? Yet it is also extremely conservative. And it's on both ends of the spectrum. I mean, literally, like on both far ends of the spectrum. Yet, with that said, everybody gets along. People find a way to get along, and they just respect each other, and they respect each other's way of life. They respect each other's religions. They respect each other's everything. I mean, you know, whatever it is. And I know it's not perfect. And I know that there are some jerks out there. I know there's some people that are not nice. I know, I get it. I totally get it. Just like anywhere else on the planet. All right? But the reality is that it's, you're not seeing what you're seeing in the USA out here at all. You know, it's not even anywhere remotely close to that. Again, I've already been through 2 election cycles while living out here, and it is nothing like it is in the USA. Yes, they get intense out here. Yes, they love their politics. Yes, they can get hardcore. But again, you know what I mean? Once political season's over, it's like, all right, back to normal, back to life. That's it. It's like more like the holiday season. That's it. You might have a little bit of a holiday hangover, a little election hangover, but that's about it. It's just things go back to normal. And again, just going back to how life was in the USA, that's how life was in the USA as well when it came to politics. Buenos dias. Buenas tardes. That's how life was out there in the USA as well when it came to politics. And, it's not like that anymore. So, I mean, look, this is why I talk about constantly, so many people compare Mexico to how life used to be in the USA, back in the day, back in the, 80s and 90s, and because it's just the way of life, the culture. All right, I think I can, yeah, you know what, let me. All right, see, I can't be, I'm on the highway here, I'm an idiot, I'm on the street. So yeah, having this bicycle, oh, it's heavy. Oh. Okay, so yeah, I can't wait to get that bike. Yeah, I'm here trying to turn. Let's see if I can turn to get to the other side. All right, so another thing is that, a lot of people thinking that a lot of people that live in the USA, they simply think that they're living in the best place on earth. They simply think that, all right, I think I can go now. I'm waiting for this guy here. All right, let's go. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of traffic. Definitely no bueno here. All right, let's go through the back roads here. All right. Nah, a lot of nothing through here. All right. So, all right. Yeah, I'm getting further away from the house. Are you? Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out and get used to these electric bikes here, because it's like the battery is not like 100% accurate. So it seems like I got more charge now. Okay, whatever. That's fine. All right. Still, I got to figure out a way. Hold on. Okay, got it. All right. Yeah, there you go. Sorry. I have my GPS. All right, now it finally realigned. All right, so now I know where I'm going. All right, so this will take me hopefully home. Eventually, we'll get there. All right. So back to what I was saying. Let's see. Yeah. So another thing out here is that there's so much less stress with life. I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm at like maximum stress right now, riding this bicycle. All right, riding the electric bike, through traffic and through all this other stuff. Outside of this, I don't have much stress in my life these days. I used to have so much more stress. Life used to be so much more stressful back in the USA. It was constantly stress. How am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to, make it through the end of the week? Hopefully, I have, enough gasoline to make through the week. Hopefully I don't get a flat tire. Hopefully this police officer, I don't get stopped by a random police officer and get a random ticket. Hopefully I don't get harassed. Hopefully I don't lose my job. Hopefully I don't get sick, because if I get sick, I'm probably gonna lose my job. Out here in Mexican, they get sick and, they got sick days. They got vacation days. They got rights, believe it or not. I was so surprised. I mean, look, I get it, man. A lot of Mexicans will constantly tell me like, oh, what are you talking about? We need more rights. We don't have that many rights, yada, yada, yada. And I get it, it's not perfect. But man, compared to the USA, I was an employee back home. I used to hire people as well. I was on both sides of the spectrum, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, the people out here have so much more in rights that it's incredible. Because a lot of, most Mexicans, if for whatever reason, they don't want to work anymore, they can just start their own business very easily. Very easy entry, low barrier to entry when it comes to starting your own business and all this other stuff. So, in fact, a lot of Mexico is always looking for employees. Mexico is always, looking for work because they have very, very, very low unemployment. But on top of that, it's like, again, many Mexicans can find, much better income just working for themselves. So they don't really put up with things unless they have to. Very rarely are you going to see Mexicans that are working jobs that they hate and for too long periods of time. Of course it happens. Let's say you're right out of high school, right out of college, right out of certain situations or, certain situations where you have to take really bad and horrible jobs and you got to deal with horrible bosses. This is like not something that most Mexicans have to like put up with and deal with for too long, for like their whole life. In the USA, that's like part of life. That's like part of living in the USA. The fact that, that is how you're gonna have to live your life. It's just like as soon as you're 18, you know that you're gonna have to work until you're 65 and most likely be miserable while doing it. Where back in the day in the USA, you always got told and taught like to do what you love, follow your dreams, all that stuff. And you'll be able to, live a awesome life. But it's like, that's not a real, plausible thing in the USA anymore. Like, for example, I cannot do what I'm doing in the USA and survive. I'm just not going to be able to do that. It's just not enough income. It's just as simple as that. And, here, again, you guys know my story. When I came out here 7 years ago, I only had a prayer and a dream and $1,500 left to my name. And basically, look at me now. You know what I mean? I'm survived. I'm thriving. I'm loving life. It's freaking amazing. And I'm doing what I love. What am I doing? I'm out here on a Tuesday afternoon, riding my bike, talking to you guys, making a video. This is awesome. This is very enjoyable. It's a very enjoyable life. And I get to do that freely out here. That's just the truth. And, in the USA, I wouldn't be able to do that. I would have to get another job. I would have to get another form of income. I would have to find another way to support myself. I wouldn't just be able to do what I want. Because I would be living in a tent, living in a bridge, under a bridge. I'd be lucky if I could, live in a van, live in a truck. Live in a car, something like that, Now, you see how slow this is going already? All right, we gotta... Hopefully, thank God we're close to home already. But, let's see, are we wrapping this up? See, I don't even know how long we've been doing this already. Let me see, I think we've covered everything. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, healthier lifestyle. Life out here is just so much healthier. I've talked about this multiple times. I made whole videos on it. You got access to healthcare. You got access to medicine. You got access to doctors. You got access to better food. You got access to crappy food. You got access to many things. And that's just the reality of it. Look, again, going back to that freedom I was talking about, look at these guys. See, in the USA, these guys, would most likely be arrested. 100% get arrested. I'm not saying that that's good, buenos dias, but, they're definitely, just, effed up on the side of the road there. And, it is what it is. Here, I got to make a U-turn, actually. No, this is a pole right here in the middle of the street. That's interesting. But that's just like the freedom, most likely they're in front of their house. Oh, when I thought, most likely I think they're in front of their house because, you could literally tell. But yeah, long story short, man, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, it's the freedom to live like this or not live like this. You know, it's up to you. And, you know, out in the USA, I know there's people that live like this. Don't get me started on that. But it's a very different scenario than it would be over here. But yeah, you know, again, just going back, you know, healthier lifestyle. You know, again, those guys, I know they're not, they might not have been, you know, just laying on the ground there. They might not have been living the most healthiest of lifestyle, but you can definitely 100%, we can all agree that they're definitely less stressed than you and me.
Bruh.
A lot less stressed than you and me. Now, the minute that those guys out there, you know, take their, you know, they start bothering other people. If they start bothering other people, then they will have consequences to deal with. It's as simple as that. But meanwhile, if they're not bothering anybody, then they're good to go. It's as simple as that. And I think that's it. I think we're gonna just wrap this bad boy up because I gotta figure out how to get home because this thing's already dying of battery here. So let me let's park this bad boy real quick so we can do a quick outro. Oh yeah, we'll do it right here. All right, guys. All right, that was a fun adventure, a fun little bike ride around town. We actually got to take you to a few places I haven't even been myself on the bike. I've definitely been before on, you know, another just regular normal life adventures out here. But, you know, now with the bike, I'm going to be taking you guys on a lot more adventures. We're going to be going a lot more places. In fact, you see that bike over there? That's going to be similar to like the one I'm going to be getting very, very soon. And we're definitely going to be going on a lot more adventures, not just around town, but also to the villages, to the pueblos, and so on and so forth. And, you know, so far right now, you know, we're still like in experiment mode where I'm just driving around and we're talking about certain topics and, you know, just kind of doing this. Let me know down below if you like these kind of videos or not. I know a lot of you guys really enjoyed the last time I did one of these. So, well, that's why we're doing it again. But I really do like to have a little bit more structure around these videos. And, anyways, let me know if you want to see other places, all right? Because we're going to be exploring all kinds of places. And again, not just on foot, but also on the bike and so on and so forth. And anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know I've actually been making a lot of negative videos lately on my channel, but you guys already know I'm very positive. I love living in Mexico very, very much, and I just like to keep it real. And a lot of you guys out there in the audience, you know, depending on what videos you watch, depending on how you look at me. And there's a lot of people out there in the audience that throughout the years, you know, believe it or not, when I used to make a lot of only positive videos about how amazing life was, you know, they used to get upset because then they used to come out here and they didn't know how life really was out here. So then that's what really started making me make videos that are quote unquote negative, but they're not negative, they're just more realistic. Because for a lot of people, you know, a lot of the things that we've seen on our bike rides, a lot of the things that I talk about in these videos, you know, they're not heaven at all to some of the people out there. Some people, they love life out here. They don't mind that it might be a little dirty. They don't mind that, you know, things might be a little bit broken. You know, things might be just the way they are. You know, again, the roads out here have something, you know, to be, what's the word I was looking for? Anyways, the roads out here suck, okay? Definitely the roads in the USA are much better. But is that enough for me to move back to the USA? No, because ultimately the things that I talked about in today's video, like freedom as you know, the main component, you know, of the things, the main reason why I live out here so much, well, it doesn't matter how the roads look. We could be on dirt roads. We could have, you know, basically no roads, and I'll still be happy because I'll have my freedom. And so for some people, they'd rather have the comfort of non-bumpy roads, and it is what it is. Anyways, with all that being said, there's another thing too. Look, you notice how I just left my bike, you know, unattended back here. If I was in the USA, if I was in Miami, this thing was already stolen. You know, my phone's already stolen, my bike's already stolen, everything's already stolen. But, well, I don't got to worry about those things here. Now, I'm not saying to, you know, just, you know, do this all willy-nilly. Again, if I was in Guadalajara, this thing probably would be stolen. I just happen to be in Mérida, which is still one of the safest cities in all of Mexico. Anyways, I digress. You guys already know I can keep going on and on, but I got to get going. In fact, like I said, I'm just hoping that the battery's recharging because I was going for too long on it so I can make my way back home. I got to find how to make my way back home. So anyways, all right, guys, with all that being said, you already know the deal. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share, please hit the bell icon, but more importantly than anything else, please stay awesome. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys. I said guys 3 times. I know. Bye.